I was born to be an effeminate child. My grandmother used to come home and find me all dressed up. I get my ass whipped, of course, well, we don't do this. You're one of the boys. I want you to be a mechanic. I said, no, but I want to be a hairdresser. I want to do this. And I want to wear these clothes. I was born July 2nd, 1951, at 2:30 in the morning in a taxi cab in the old Lincoln Hospital parking lot. The old queen couldn't wait. She said, oh, I'm ready to hit the streets. My grandmother used to always joke about that. I said, yeah. I said, you see why I'm always standing out on the street corner? That's good. And then came out feet first.
You did?
Yes.
Oh, so you landed on
so I was ready. I always mention my grandmother because my mother died when I was 3 years old, and she raised me. So it's my grandmother that raised me until I left home.
Right. So you left home at 10?
Yeah. I left home about 10 and a half. I was almost 11. The only reason that I left home at such an early age was because my grandmother came home crying one day. With the tears in her eyes, they're calling you a pato, which means faggot in the Spanish language. And it hurt her so bad because they were doing this to me, and she knew where I was coming from. She even knew. I had that much respect for my grandmother. I didn't want her to suffer. It wasn't my suffering. I was worrying about her suffering.
How did you survive on the street?
You became a streetwalker. You stand out on the street and you make money.
At that age?
At that age, it was easy to make money. I don't know how many times my grandmother had to come and bail me out of jail. She was there. She always came, bailed me out. She says, oh, that's my grandson. I have to take him out.
What were you in jail for?
Prostitution, bullshit, loitering. Nothing major, If you walk down 42nd Street and even looked like a faggot, you were going to jail.
So you went to jail a few times?
Oh, I went to jail a lot of times. The community is always embarrassed by drag queens.
Why do you think?
Why do I think?
Yeah.
No, it's not why I think, I know.
Okay, why do you know?
Because straight society always looks, oh, well, a faggot always dresses in drag, or he's too effeminate. You got to be who you are. Mm-hmm. Passing is like saying a light-skinned black woman or black male passing for white. And I refused to pass.
You couldn't have passed?
No, I couldn't pass.
Not in this lifetime?
No, not in this lifetime. I just like being myself.
Right.
It's fun being Sylvia. It's fun playing the game. The first time that I got arrested, I was like, I'm going where?
What had you done?
You were a faggot.
Were you dressed in women's clothes?
Well, back then, when I first started out, I was in women's clothes. It was what they call right now, even right now, what I'm wearing is scare drag.
Scare drag? Mm-hmm. What is scare drag?
What I'm wearing right now. You don't have the tits on or anything. You just have a little makeup on. You have your hair out. You got women's clothing on. And that's what they call scare drag. Every time that I used to go in front of a judge, upper head female impersonation.
That was the charge?
Yeah.
Upper head female impersonation. In other words, from the neck up.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible.
The laws back then were very strange. Mm-hmm.
So from, let's say, up until 1969, you weren't involved in gay rights or any of that stuff, were you?
Before the Stonewall, I was involved in the Black Liberation Movement, the peace movement. I just felt that I had the time, and I knew that I had to do something. And then when the Stonewall happened...
You were, let's say, you were 18 years old then.
Mm-hmm.
You were still a kid by most standards.
Yes. It was like a God-sent thing to me. I mean, I just happened to be there when it all jumped off. I said, oh, well, great. I said, now it's my time. I said, here, I'm out there being a revolutionist for everybody else. I said, now it's time to do my thing for my own people. and I joined GAA. Marsha and I fought a lot for the liberation of our people. We did a lot back then. Marsha and I had a building on 2nd Street, which is called Storehouse. And when we asked the community to help us, there was nobody to help us. We were nothing. We were nothing. And now we were taking care of kids that were younger than us. I mean, Marsha and I were young, and we were taking care of them. And GAA had teachers and lawyers and whatnot. All we asked them was, well, if you could help us teach our own so we can all become a little bit better. There was nobody there to help us. There was nobody.
Let her speak. Just a moment. Just a moment. Just a moment. I would like to avoid any trouble. This is a day of unity for us. I want us to be happy.
All right, it's up to the gay people. What do you want to do?
Listen, we don't know what you want. Now, do you want these people to speak? Wait a minute, wait, please wait. Please wait. Will the people who want it say yes? That's the end of the conversation. Y'all better quiet down. Nothing. I've been trying to get up here all day for your gay brothers and your gay sisters in jail. They write me every motherfucking week and ask for your help. And you all don't do a goddamn thing for them. Have you ever been beaten up and raped in jail? Now think about it. They've been beaten up and raped after they haven't spent much of their money in jail to get their cell phones and try to get their sex change. The women have tried to fight for their sex changes or to become women of the women's liberation. And they write STAR, not the women's group. They do not write women. They do not write men. They write STAR because we're trying to do something for them. I have been to jail. I have been raped and beaten many times by men, heterosexual men that do not belong in the homosexual shelter. But do you do anything for them? No. You all tell me to go and hide my tail between my legs. I will not longer put up with this shit. I have been beaten. I have had my nose broken. I have been thrown in jail. I have lost my job. I have lost my apartment for gay liberation. And you all treat me this way? What the fuck's wrong with you all? Think about that. I do not believe in a revolution, but you all do. I believe in the gay power. I believe in us getting our rights, or else I would not be out there fighting for our rights. That's all I wanted to say to your people. If you all want to know about the people that are in jail, and do not forget Bambi Lamore and Dora Marks, Kenny Messner, and other gay people that are in jail, come and see the people at Storehouse on 12th Street, on 640 East 12th Street, between B and C, apartment 14. The people that are trying to do something for all of us, and not men and women that belong to a white middle class, white club. And that's what you all belong to. Revolution now!
How long have you lived here?
I've been here since a week before Gay Pride Day this year.
Have you ever spent a winter like out of doors in an environment like this?
I spent winters with Marsha and some of the other drag queens many years ago before Storehouse, and during the beginning of Storehouse, out in the street. But
they didn't have homeless encampments in those days.
We didn't. We slept in hallways, or either Marsha or I had a hotel room where we snuck everybody in. You know, it wasn't like this. Stonewall Veterans Meeting is okay. We happen not to be HIV positive, but my friends and the kids, as I call them, because they're all younger than me, they are actually ill. There's 2 people down there that's got full-blown AIDS that have been out in the streets for 10 years. And I don't see where this money is going from this community. That I'm not saying that they have to.
Are they plugged in to try to get into places like Bailey House?
They have tried.
So just because you're homeless, you're just the lowest priority, right?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. And it's funny that, like I said, I'm going to bring it up at the meeting tomorrow. I want a meeting with the director of the Gay Community Service Center and find out why there's nothing being done. I mean, even bag lunches. What does it cost? I mean, it's a tax write-off.
Une immense fête avec pour enjeu lutter contre les discriminations.
Dans les rues de Rome, la World Gay Pride a rassemblé 200 000 homosexuels, transsexuels et lesbiennes, italiens, mais aussi américains, français ou allemands.
It really gives me great pleasure to be here in representation of the gay liberation movement and the transgender movement all the way from the United States. I didn't think 31 years ago that I would have so many children, but I am proud to have liberated you. Be that and well pride and continue your struggle all around the world.
I mean, this is you addressing the whole Pride Parade?
Yes, that was a lot.
How many people were in front of you? 500,000.
Yeah, we could say that because you could hear me everywhere. I told them very nicely to remember that they wouldn't be having gay World Pride in Italy if it wasn't for the transgender that fought in 1969 at the Stonewall. And they went crazy. At one point in between my speech, they started calling me a living myth in Italian. Mystical or something. And the crowds just kept on hollering that. And it was like, really, I'll never get that respect here.
Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Sylvia Rivera. I'm co-founder of Street Transvestite Action Revolutionaries, which is now Street Transgender Action Revolutionaries. And my co-founder was Marsha P. Johnson.
What about the issues of that there's a lot of organizations that have included T in their bill, like lesbian, gay, bi, and trans? Is there real inclusiveness, or is it just a smokescreen? How do you feel about that?
No, that's the bottom line. It's a big smokescreen. This movement has become so capitalist. It is a capitalist movement. I see this movement becoming a straight gay movement that only believes in that almighty dollar. Now, what kind of logic is this? I don't understand. We do not owe the straight community a damn thing, so why should we be giving them our money?
I feel highly offended. So, what is the purpose of us? Not us, because this is no longer my pride. I gave them their pride, but they have not given me mine. But what is the purpose of them celebrating their pride and giving straight people who still really don't accept the community, the gay and lesbian community, for what they are, but they want that almighty dollar of ours?